What is going on, beautiful people? Josh here. Today we are doing another episode in our series on Photoshop skin retouching, but we are working specifically on the eyes. This will be the last video in this series, and then we will be moving on to other things with Photoshop. So, without any further ado, let's begin. This episode is about the eyes. All right. So first thing that we want to do is we want to make a copy of our background layer. We can do so by pressing Control or Command J. There we go. Now for this, I want to create a curves adjustment layer like so. And this curves adjustment layer will allow me just to kind of brighten up the entire image, but I'm not looking at the entire image. I'm just looking at the eyes. So right about there. All right. Now we are going to create another layer, and this is going to be a hue and saturation layer, like so. Now let's go ahead and let's zoom in here so that we are, let me zoom out a little bit. I kind of went a little bit overboard. Now we are going to focus directly on the color of her eyes. We want more yellow into her eyes. So if we go that way, we get red. We go this way, we get the greens, blues. So, let's move her back just a tiny bit. Right there. We want to increase our saturation a little bit to kind of give them that little bit of golden color. And we can kind of play with our lightness here. So right about there. All right, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to group these two adjustment layers. So we're going to hold Shift and we're going to click on both of them. Then we're going to hit Control G, and that's going to put them in a group. Let me zoom this out so that you can see my photo looks all kinds of funky now. So what we do from here is we're going to create a mask for the group. All right, now we're going to come over here to our group mask. We're going to make sure it is selected, and then we are going to hit Control I to invert it. That's going to make all of the adjustments that we have done disappear. All right, now let's go ahead and let's zoom back into the eyes. Now, black will hide the adjustments that we've made, and white will show the adjustments that we made. So we're going to go over here and we're going to choose a brush. We're going to make sure that we have this selected, and we're going to come over here to the eyes. We're going to put our opacity down at about 50. We're going to put our flow down about 40-ish, and that'll be fine. And we're just going to paint into the area of the eyes that we want to accentuate. All right, and just to give a quick before and after. Too easy on that one. So let's put this back on screen. Show some difference here. All right, most people would stop right here, but we're going to take this a step further. All right, we're going to take and we are going to create another layer here by pressing Control and G. Sorry, my bad, Control Z. By pressing Control and J. Now we are going to create a high pass layer for this. Reason we are doing this is because we want to sharpen our eyes, like the eyelashes, eyebrows, that kind of stuff. And we're going to put that inside its own mask. So let's go ahead and let's do that. We'll go ahead and we'll drop down to Filter and Other and High Pass. I'm going to bring our radius all the way down, and we are going to move our radius up until we see each individual eyelash and the outline of her actual eye. So about 2.3, and we're going to click OK. Now we are going to change the blending mode from normal to vivid light instead of overlay. I know this looks kind of crazy. It looks like everything just kind of pops. So we're going to turn that on and off just so you can see the difference here. And we're going to create a layer mask for this. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to invert the mask by clicking on the white mask and then holding Control and pressing I. That's going to invert it. That makes our changes disappear. And then we are going to paint in the areas that we want to have sharpening done with the same brush with white. And we're going to do this in a way to make sure that we are not getting any of the extra skin with it. Let me make my brush a little bigger. I'm going to do this by using the bracket key. And that is just the right bracket key. And we just paint over the eyebrow here. We're going to do the same thing on this side. And let's drop this down a little bit. And remember, guys, we are still painting with white, and we are just using a sharpening mask to do so. All right, let's go ahead and let's zoom this out a little bit, like so. And now I'm gonna put these two groups into, or the new layer and group one, I'm gonna put them inside of a group as well. And it's just gonna be called group two. That way all of our adjustments are in one place. Now we're going to turn it on and off so that you can see the differences here. So, zoom out right there. That's good. So, this is with our adjustments on. That is taking our adjustments away. It really makes the eyes stand out when you do things like this. All we did was accentuate the color, the natural color of her eyes, and we sharpened the image just around like the eyelashes and the eye holes and the eyebrows. And that'll be it. There's more that we can do here, so let's go ahead and let's continue. We're gonna zoom in here. We're gonna go back to our layer one. We're gonna create another layer, and we're gonna do something that most people don't like to see. Now we have little red veins inside the eyes. This eye looks pretty good, but this eye, you can see we've got some really, really bright red veins here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this healing brush, and I'm actually going to change the mode on it to lighten. We're going to go, and we're going to use our bracket key. Why are we not working here? I think my keyboard just died, guys. Yep. There we go. We're back. We're in business. So we're just going to come over those areas real gently and remove them. And we are going to fit this back on screen. Now we have a clear eye without the red overtones from the veins that are in it. And it doesn't look like a difference, but when you come up big on the image, there we go, in the eye. And then with our group off and on, I'm going to go ahead and throw these in another group. That way I can turn them all off and on at one time. All right, so the eyes have it. There we go. That's all of our adjustments off, all of our adjustments on. And that is it, guys. Y'all have a wonderful day.